Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss Diversity, and welcome to the final day of Brain Cancer Awareness Month. Go Great in May, which was Go Great in May for Lele, for me. Thank you to everyone who has participated in it. Thank you for the videos, the photos, the support, the emails, the messages. I really appreciate you. Today, on this final day, I finally built up the courage to share Lele's story, our story, because everyone in the house is affected. Although Nalea has the brain tumors, it affects everyone in our house, everyone. I would like to warn you, it is a sensitive subject, and there will be some sensitive images, so if that bothers you, then you may not want to watch this video. I don't recommend children watching this video without notifying their parents first, because like I said, some of the images can be disturbing, and I don't want to accept anyone, but I just want to give you a peek in my life, into Lele's life, her fight, my little warrior. You can see I'm already a little choked up because I've been watching all of the wonderful videos that you guys have put out for me, and the last one was by the roommates, Keisha, and it was so informative. I mean, if you want to know more, go check out her video, guys, because I mean, she just laid it all on the line. It's just that I get so choked up when talking about the subject that I kind of just ran through a little bit when I did my Go Gray in May for Lele video. But today I'm gonna put it all out there. So if you didn't know, my name is Keisha. I'm Keisha, aka Miss Diversity, and my daughter Nalea, or Lele as you know her by, she suffers from brain tumors. But to properly tell the story, we need to start from the beginning, okay? So we're going to start from the beginning. When Nalea was about 5 years old, she was 5 because, I'm sorry, I'm in the car doing this, y'all. She was 5. I remember because she just finished preschool. She was going to turn 6. It was the summer after preschool, and Nene was going to her grandparents' house, and me and Dame and Nalea, we were in the living room. We're chilling in the living room, and they normally stick to a certain bedtime, but it was the summertime and they wanted to stay up late, so we camped out in the living room, and it was really late. I mean, they stayed up like super late. It had to be up at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and they were just watching TV. Nalea wanted to lay on the floor and watch TV and make a pallet. We call it a pallet. She wanted to make a pallet on the floor, so it should be like she's camping out. And Dame, he was bouncing back and forth, because Dame just hyper as he want to be. He would bounce back and forth, so he kept me up like even an hour more past that. I should have been asleep because Nalea had already dozed off, but he was just so hyper, and I was afraid he was going to get into something because he's only 2 years older than Nalea. So I kept saying, Dame, stop, go to sleep, I'll let you stay up now. It's time to go to sleep, it's late. Y'all, I started hearing like noises, like it sounded like somebody was laughing but choking. And I thought Nalea had started playing too. So I looked over at her, and my baby was gray. I mean, my baby was gray. And I knew exactly what it was. I've dealt with it all the time. But it frightened me. It frightened me so bad. It frightened me to the core. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm like, what's wrong with my baby? Something's going on with my baby. I scooped her up, and I did everything I wasn't supposed to do. And I've dealt with seizures before, and I've worked and I've had patients who've had seizures before, so this was nothing. But this was my baby. My baby here, she was gray and she was limp and her eyes were set, and she looked like a fish out of water. And my heart, it just dropped in my stomach. And Dame was screaming because he was young. He was a kid, and he's still a kid, but he was so young. For him not to see that, it was so traumatic. It was so traumatic. And I remember calling the ambulance, and she had a piggyback seizure. If you know what a piggyback seizure is, when they have one seizure and they have another seizure on top of it. And she had a grand mal. There's different tiers of seizures. You can have absence where they just kind of blank out for a second. You can have partials where you may go limp, and you have the tonic-clonic, aka the grand mal. There's actually more classification of seizures than that, but there's like a tier, and then it branches off. There's so many more, but those are like the three main categories, and absence are like at the least end of the spectrum, and then grand mal, which are clonic tonics, is at the higher end of the spectrum. It's when the patient loses consciousness, the body stiffens up, and it starts to jerk. And my daughter was having a clonic tonic seizure, and it piggybacked because it went on for a long time. And I called the ambulance, and I remember I couldn't get myself together. I couldn't tell them where I stayed, and all I can do is keep screaming. Then I would come back. Like, I had to put myself into patient care mode. Because I had to come out of mommy mode. I had to come out of mommy mode so they can find me, because all I was doing was screaming. I just kept screaming. I kept screaming, my baby. Come help my baby. Come help my baby. And finally, the guy on the other line, he told me, just shut up and tell me where you are. And I needed that. I did need that, because I was losing my mind, y'all. And so I scooped her up, because we had no indications of why she should be having a seizure. So I scooped her up, and I ran outside, and I saw the ambulance, and they passed me. They passed my street. I don't know why, but when you put my address in at the time, it would take you somewhere else. And I remember running with her in my arms, and she was just limp. She was limp. She had wet herself. And with those seizures, they lose the ability to be continent, and they become incontinent, and lose their bowels, ability to hold their bowels too, and sometimes they bite their tongue. But she had bit her tongue too, and she was in bad shape, and I was so afraid, y'all. Although I've seen it so many times, I was so scared. And but I remember I need to time this. I need to time this, y'all. So I had a time for her, and that seizure was 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes long. It was right at the cutoff from needing medication. Anything over 5 minutes, and we're talking brain damage if you don't stop the seizure. So that was when we first found out that she had epilepsy. Before that, she was a healthy, happy little girl, you know, fiery, little Aries. We had no problems prior to that. But after that, she had another seizure when I was at work. And at that time, I was working like at a hair salon, I think, at that time. And I decided, you know, I need to stay home with my baby, because I couldn't take it. She was with her godmother at the time. I'm like, I can't take it anymore. And that seizure, it was longer than the other one. That seizure lasted 7 minutes long, and she lost continence again. After the first seizure, they didn't treat her because it's called new onset of epilepsy. A lot of people could mistake something else for a seizure. Although I knew what I was talking about, this was her first seizure, no other indications, so they didn't medicate her. Her second seizure came just a week after her first, so she was classified epileptic. She got the stamp of epilepsy after that. At the age of 5, she was stamped with epilepsy. It's okay. Give me the medicine. It's okay.
Where is it?
I got it right here. Okay, I was able to get some of it. She bit her tongue. Okay. Okay, I got her. Okay, she stopped. It's okay. Pop, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Poppy, it's okay. So years went on, and it was a battle. Like, I felt like I was a losing battle. I didn't know, like, if I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Like, why is my baby seizing? Like, no one else in my family had seizures, and they asked, like, is there any family history? Like, no family history. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So I changed our whole diet. We went no GMO. There was nothing artificial was allowed in my house, and I stayed that way for years. And as we converted over and becoming healthier and healthier, her meds just kept going up and up and up and up to keep her seizures controlled. I think at that point in time, she ended up on, she was on like 4 different meds. She stayed on 4 different meds to control the seizures, because when you have one med, it may control one thing, but then give you other side effects, then they have to medicate you with another meds. And that's the thing with synthetic meds. It does that. But we were doing so good, and we actually started to wean off the meds, y'all. And I was thinking, you know what? Maybe this is going to go away. You know, maybe it was just, just a fluke incident, and everything's going to be okay. But a couple of years after that, her seizures came back. And they came back bad. I mean, they came back real bad. Like, I've never seen them before. When I look at her seizure and I see her seize, I pay attention. I pay attention to what part of her body is affected, her facial expression, and her seizures came back really bad. And I said, something's wrong. Something's not right. And the doctors are just, all they did, they were just up on their beds. At this point, my baby was like on 7 different meds. And I said, no, something's not right. Because on her original MRI, it was clean. It was fine. So I called her doctor and I said, no, you need to scan her again, because something's changed. And something's not right with my baby. And so my doctor, she called us and she said, go ahead and do an MRI. And they did an MRI on her, and it was the summer. It was last summer. I remember it vividly. It was last summer. It was in May. It was in May, actually. May now. Last summer in May, they did a scan on her towards the end, and then we went out of town, and we came back, and it was a couple of weeks later, and I got a phone call from the doctor, and she was hesitant. I'm like, why is the doctor calling me? Because normally they have like the medical assistants call me to give me results and stuff like that. I mean, why is the doctor calling me? She left a message for me to call her back, and I called her back, and I was a little apprehensive, because I know if the doctor's calling you, it's not good news. And next year will make 2 years. She called me in last year, June. I never forget it. She called me and she said, Mrs. Nguyen? She said, yeah, are you doing okay? I said, yeah. She's Indian and she has like an accent. And I said, yeah, I'm doing okay. She said, how's Alea? I said, she's doing okay. She's just a little tired. She's still complaining of the numbness. She had the numbness. She said, oh yeah. She said, that's to be expected. And she said, are you driving? And I said, no, I'm not driving. I'm okay. And I got even scared. I was trying to remain calm. I'm like, what is she going to tell me? And she said, Mrs. And she said, we got the reports back. And we found something. And it looks like tumors. We think she has tumors. Y'all, my heart dropped in my stomach. Because I'm like, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything right. Why? Why does my baby have to go through this, y'all? I fell to my knees. I'm like, this can't be real. I know this isn't real. She's just a baby. She's just a baby, y'all. Next to losing my nephew, that was one of the worst, I'm sorry y'all, moments of my life, because I thought we were doing good. I knew in my soul something was wrong, but I still wanted to hear that everything's clear, it's okay. It was just a freak incident. And from there, it kind of started going downhill. It just kind of started going downhill, y'all. Okay, baby. Okay. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Her seizures that were getting better, she was starting to have them. She was starting having them monthly and weekly, and her meds just went up and up and up. At one point, I think my baby was on like 9 different medications. Her legs would go numb. Where her tumors lie, or in her parietal lobes. You have different lobes in your brain, and your parietal lobe, the best way to explain it to you, it lies right behind your frontal lobe. Your frontal lobe is here, your parietal lobe is here. They don't want to mess with them, and I really don't want them to go on my baby head either. They are small enough where they can leave them alone and watch them, but they're large enough that they cause the symptoms that it can cause them. I'm sorry, there's a motorcycle here. Some of her symptoms is her legs go numb, like I said. So we carry around a wheelchair or a walker if we're going to be walking any long distances. She has mood changes. The mood changes are from the medications and the brain tumors. She doesn't handle stress very well. There's not really a gray area with her. She's either really, really happy, she's such a sweet baby, or she's really, really sad. She has her moments where she says she just want to be normal. She says she just want to be a normal kid. And all I do is just hug her and just tell her how much I love her. Her memory is affected. Certain things she don't remember, like she can't remember, which affects her school. It affects her school. She's hospital homebound. Her teacher comes to us because she doesn't have the endurance. That's another thing, to, like I said, to make it. I'm sorry, I hope you can hear me. To make it through classes. So she doesn't really socialize with a lot of people, and it's just recently been revealed to me by her that she doesn't want to be around the kids because she says they ask her too many questions and it makes her feel bad. And I said, baby, I don't want to make you feel bad. At the same time, I want her to have friends. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it's me and her. It's me and her. That's why I said she's my buddy. That's my buddy. She can't sleep alone because her seizures are normally prolonged, meaning they're normally over 5 minutes. And she has to have a breakthrough. They call it rescue medications that I have to administer to her. So that's why I'm tired a lot, because I don't really sleep well. Even if I medicate myself, I still don't go into a deep sleep because my body, I'm always on guard if she's going to seize. The bad thing about seizing too long, like I told you before, is deprivation of oxygen to the brain. And when the brain doesn't have oxygen, it starts to die. You get infarcts, it starts to die. So any seizures over 5 minutes, you want to stop. And so I have to, excuse me, I'm sorry, I have to stop. I have to stop them. She can't bathe by herself, or swim by herself. She has to have someone bathe, so there goes her privacy because someone has to be in there with her, because if she seizes in the bathtub, then she's going to drown. She would drown. Yeah. My baby's a warrior, though. She really is. I told her, you are not your illness, baby. You are not. You can be whatever you want to be. She wants to be a baker. She said an artist and a baker. And her end goal is to own a chain of bakeries because she wants to bake cupcakes and things like that, and design it. And I said, baby, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. Y'all, for the longest time, I was living like I was going to lose my baby. Like I would just let her eat any and everything. But now recently we cleaned up my diet because I need to live like I want to keep my baby. Or get her more active, as active as she can be, you know, as she can tolerate. Some other things, like I was saying, she doesn't like a lot of stimulation, and she has to have a schedule. We have to stick to a schedule, or it throws her off whack. And she'll have a breakdown. If people on the outside looking in, they thinking, oh, this little girl is just not getting her way, and they really don't truly understand what's going on. When we go to the grocery store, sometimes she wants to try to walk, so I'll get 2 carts because I know eventually, you know, she's going to end up in one of those carts. And when people see it, they're like, won't you get up and walk? And that irritates me so much, how ignorant people are. That's why I got her that shirt that says, I don't look sick. Well, you don't look stupid either. Looks can be deceiving, because looks truly can be deceiving. You don't know what a person's going through. And then when I tell them she has brain tumors, that's why she's in this cart. I'd rather her ride in this cart than her to fall on your floor. Then they shut up and recount what they're saying. Y'all, people think before you say things. You don't know what's going on. You don't. You don't. That's why I think before I say anything to anyone. Y'all, Lele is so inspirational to me, because a couple of years ago I got in a bad car accident. This was after her epilepsy, before her brain tumor diagnosis. And you know, I was a little woe is me because I couldn't do the things that I was able to do, you know, and they put a lot on my mentees because I'm so used to being independent. And I'm quite sure that she feels the same way because she's so used to being independent. And so now she has to depend on everyone. Like, she can't even take a bath by herself. And I know that may make her feel some type of way. And so I see her and I start sucking stuff up. My little complaints up. I'm like, if my little girl can do it, I can do this. I have nothing to complain about. She's a baby on all these meds. 7 different doctors always poking and prodding on her. If she can do this with a smile, then I need to shut up and I need to continue on with a smile. It makes you grateful. It really does make you grateful. And it puts my world in a better perspective. Y'all wonder why I'm happy all the time? I'm happy all the time because my baby's still here. And I know there's going to be some bad times, so I got to embrace some good times, y'all. I know y'all be like, oh, she's always so freaking goofy. Because I'm just grateful for the littlest things. Like, if she have a good day, y'all, we grateful, we happy, we celebrating around the house. It makes you grateful for the littlest things too. You got to embrace some good times. You got to share some good times in preparation for the bad times, y'all. You really do. In addition to the brain tumors, another symptom besides from the numbness and the headaches and the mood swings, the brain tumors increased her pressure in her head. So they have to go in and they have to alleviate that pressure. The route they take is through a spinal tap. Her last seizure that she just recently had, which was not too long ago, was because her pressures were increased. When the pressure is increased in your head, it puts strain on your brain. It brings strain on all your nerves. You have to think, your brain is the hub. Your brain is the center, the main center that sends signals to everything in your body. Your brain is sending signals to your heart to tell your heart to beat. Your brain sends signals to your eyes to tell your eyes to blink, tells your lungs to inflate. Your brain is such an imperative part. It's the hub. It's the hub of your body. Your body is like this well-oiled machine, and the brain is the central station. It's dictating everything. It's telling me to put my fingers right now. So the brain is very imperative. I wanted to raise awareness about brain tumors and brain cancer alone, because even though that brain, that important piece, that important organ that is so imperative for us to live, brain cancer and brain tumors are not really spoken about. They really are. It's kind of buried underneath all the other cancers, and I'm not downing any other cancers, but it's real and it's out there, and people are suffering from it. And my daughter's one of them, y'all. She's one of them. And I'm not here for sympathy. I'm not here for what was me. I'm just here to share my story, y'all. So when y'all see me hug her tight and kiss her and just smile at her, y'all know what's going on through my head now. Because a lot of children, they die from this diagnosis. And so I cherish each day. I cherish each day I have with her. I know it's harder on my other children, especially my son, because he doesn't really understand. He thinks, when she's having a mood swing, I know he probably thinks I'm just having favoritism, so I have to have her sit down with my children, let them know, listen, mommy's not favoring your sister. Your sister just requires a little bit more attention. So I try to take time in each of them, take separate times, like maybe when she sleep, stay up a little extra, stay up a little later, watch a movie with my eldest, or me and my son, just take time and, hey, let's just run into the store together, while Nene, with baby girl in the car. Just take little times. Or right now I'm not practicing with him, and normally I'll sit there, I'll watch him, and just take time with him, let him know that I don't love you any less. Because she does require more attention. She does. And it's a strain. It is a strain. It is. Because I know sometimes they want mommy to do this and do that. And sometimes I can't. Because the layer's tired. We got to go home. She has to rest. She has to. Because her being overtired is another trigger. It's another trigger. It can trigger another seizure. Her being tired, stressed, sick. A common cold for you and me is nothing. We got to stuff your nose. We feel bad. A cold for her can end up in the hospital just from a cold, because it's going to trigger a seizure. And sometimes those seizures can piggyback. Like I said, she has piggyback seizures. And sometimes the meds that I have won't stop her seizure. They won't stop it. But this last one, I said, she had, it was because her pressure went back up. They were trying to adjust her meds. I hate those meds so bad. I hate them with a passion. It's like a necessary evil. And best believe I'm looking into alternative measures. I really am. I am. It's like a necessary evil for her to survive. Just to live a normal life. A semi-normal life. But I tell her every day, what's normal, baby? What's normal? People probably think I'm weird. What is normal? You are normal, baby. Normal is up for interpretation. And I show her so many people. There are people born with no legs and no arms, and they don't let them stop them. They don't let that stop them, so don't let this stop you. You are not your illness, baby. Yes, you have an illness, but you are not sick. Don't be that sick. Don't be sick in a state of mind. you do anything and everything that you want to do, that you're able to do, baby. You do it. So that's why I go gray. That's why we go gray in May for Lele. And for any and everybody who is affected by this horrible, horrible disease. We go gray for you. And know that you are not alone. You are not alone. There are so many other people out there, but like I said, it's not talked about. There's so many people out there suffering from the same thing. There's so many people that are lost people from the same thing. You are not alone. You are not alone. Anyway, I hope that our story has brought you some insight. I know I rambled a lot. It's very emotional for me. I love you all. Stay safe. Stay uplifted. Stay grateful. Go hug your kids. Kiss your mama. Kiss your daddy. Y'all call your grandmama. Just be appreciative, y'all. Just love up on your family. Love up on them, okay? And when you're going through your darkest hours, just stop and think that somebody might be going through something worse than you. I love you all. See you later. I know there may be many of you that's going to ask after this video, why upload such horrible things? Why do you even record her seizures? The doctors actually encourage patients to record their seizures because it's used as a diagnostic tool. And even me, that's how I was able to tell that her seizures was getting worse. Because you have a reference point to go back and look at and say, hey, look, her seizures are not normally like that. Let's take a closer look. So if you are one of those people who wonder, why you even have recordings of her seizing, that's the reason why. It's a diagnostic tool. And also it's a timer, because there's a timer when you record or how long the seizure is. So the doctor can actually look and say, hey, you can send it to him and say, hey, look, these seizures are looking different. We want you to go ahead and bring her in sooner than her normal visit. So that's the reason why, in case you're wondering, okay? Couple hours. Actually, you're gonna go to ophthalmology, then neuro, and then back to ophthalmology. Okay?
Work. Gotta work. Vogue, strut. Alright. Blow kisses.